We're going to be doing question number 2. This is from what I'm calling the SAT number 17, which is the April 2019 test. The question reads, according to the passage, which fact about Celia's neighbors does the narrator know before she visits Celia's apartment? So first thing to do in solving this question is to notice this little tag that opens it up, which says according to the passage. This little tag here sort of falls in an overall category or group of questions where what's distinct about them is that they all refer to one specific text, and you can look at other videos that I'll do where I go over this and how to recognize them. According to the passage is a very common tag that opens it, so that tells us we're going to be looking for one specific text in the sentence, in the passage. So the next thing is that we need to find a sentence that tells us about basically what the narrator already knows about Celia's neighbors before she gets to the apartment. The second thing we can do is, before we go and scan and look for that specific sentence, is notice that question 3 sort of references line 54. So we should expect, not with a perfect accuracy, but we should expect with some degree of probability that the sentence we're looking for is going to come before line 54. The other thing is this is about Celia's neighbors, so if you watch the passage breakdown, or if you just read the passage and you have a good memory, you should know that here in this paragraph here is basically where Celia mostly talks about her neighbors. And it usually makes sense. This is usually how texts work on the SAT, where, if you're talking about the neighbors in one little paragraph, probably that's the only place where they're going to be mentioned, and then we move on to different things. There's really not a lot of, there's not a lot of back and forth. There's not a lot of recursivity, which basically it's not, things are not happening here and then occurring again here and then whatever. So basically, if they're talking about neighbors in this paragraph, that's probably the only place to talk about neighbors. It kind of is going to fit our criterion because here's line 54 here. We said it's probably before then. So let's just look in this paragraph and look for something that the narrator might know about Celia's neighbors before Celia tells her. So we keep scanning, gossip about people in the building, Micho Alvarez, who claimed she did this, blah, blah, blah. She said that Quisqueya, I think that's Quisqueya, sorry, dyed her hair, which was hardly news. I assumed as much when I met her. So this right here is going to be the text that we're looking for. It says that this woman here, she dyed her hair, and then the narrator says it was hardly news. I had assumed as much when I met her. So she said that Quisqueya dyed her hair, which was hardly news. I assumed as much when I met her. So this tells us something that the narrator already knew, sort of, right? It's an assumption, but she already knew about one of Celia's neighbors before Celia even told her. So it has to do with dyeing her hair. So then we go through the answer choices, and sure enough, we have this choice here, which says that this woman, she dyed her hair. This is something the narrator knows before Celia tells her, and that's good. Everything else here, we have no indication that the narrator knew it before she got to Celia's apartment or before Celia told her. So we could eliminate those, and we'll end up with answer choice D for question number